Now, Iran on Sunday issued its first known death sentence over the recent protests there. It's the latest escalation in the government crackdown after more than 2 months of anti-regime demonstrations. Now, according to Amnesty International, more than 2/3 of countries in the world have abolished the death penalty in law or at least in practice. Now, that means they haven't executed anyone for at least 10 years. But 55 countries do still use the death penalty. Often, these are countries considered to have flawed or unfair justice systems. China is estimated to be the world's leading executioner. After that, the most known executions in 2021 took place in Iran, Egypt, Saudi Arabia and Syria, in that order. Now, globally, Amnesty found at least 579 people were put to death by governments last year, and that's not including the estimated thousands executed in China, from where there's a lack of official data. Now, today, politicians and activists from around the world are getting together in Berlin for the World Congress Against the Death Penalty. And our correspondent, Hans Brandt, who's at that conference, told me more about its aims.
Yes, it's a conference that takes place every 3 years to coordinate the campaign against the death penalty, for abolition of death penalty. There are about 1,000 delegates here for this conference from around 100 countries. And every 3 years, there is one major theme that the conference sets itself. This year, it's going to be around the role of youth, the idea of getting a new generation of activists to push for the abolition of the death penalty. It's not only NGOs, non-governmental organizations such as Amnesty that are participating in this. It's being hosted by the German government and the French government and the Swiss government and the European Union. So there's very, very major support behind these NGOs that are pushing for the abolition of the death penalty.
And are there any countries in particular in which we can see progress really being made?
Yes, there are. This campaign has really picked up in the last 20, 25 years or so. And as you said earlier, there are about 2/3 of the countries worldwide don't use the death penalty anymore. And at the moment, there are several African countries that are about to abolish the death penalty. These include Malawi, Zambia, Sierra Leone and Liberia. So on the African continent, there's a lot of movement going on. But at the same time, the death penalty is still being used in in quite a few countries, we have to say in the United States as well. So it's not just a feature of countries that use the death penalty for repression, but the major country with the most executions is likely to be China, although it keeps its numbers secret. The estimates go well into the thousands of people that are being executed there.
DW's Hans Brandt, thanks so much for that.